Hello everyone and welcome back to Hickory Lane Studios. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through the process of making the second commission horse in this series, you might call it. These are off-the-track rescue thoroughbreds that I'm painting to spread awareness for the rescue and others like it. So for the base model, I'm starting off with the Collecta thoroughbred mare. And the first step is, of course, to shave off the text on the belly and fill it in with my 2-part epoxy sculpt. I smooth it around with my fingers, and then I can use water and a silicone sculpting tool to smooth that even further and blend it into the plastic. I didn't film the prepping or the priming process, but I did sand the model and sand any imperfections, and then I primed the model and then I sanded some more, and now I'm base coating the model in this light chestnutty color. I use this wide flat brush that really helps get the paint all over the horse, and it helps with really quick coverage and it makes the process a lot faster. Somewhere lost in translation, the color got way too dark, as you can see here. I don't know why that happened, but anyways, I wish it had stayed a bit lighter, but alas. So I take out my pan pastels and I give my model a spray of sealant outdoors with a proper ventilation mask. I also wear a dust mask while working with my pan pastels, and I wear gloves to avoid getting the oils from my hands onto the horse because that can cause graininess. I basically make a custom mix of colors in the shade that is the same color as the base coat that I just painted on my model. Cuddles, the cat, joined me here. So helpful. Thank you, Cuddles. Anyways, I can then grab out my brush and put on the first layer of pan pastel. It's a little bit lighter than the shade of the base, but it has the same tones and it's relatively similar. Maybe a bit too orange, but I needed to kind of lighten the color. It had gotten a lot too dark. So I do that all over the whole of the model. So then I start to shade with darker pastels over top using this diagram as a reference for where to shade. It goes across the neck and the back, on the tops of the shoulders and the hind, and then down through the midsection of the barrel. And then the remaining areas stay kind of light, including the negative areas between the shoulders and the flank. I used to think that those were darker, but they're actually not. They stay a bit lighter. And then, of course, the legs will get black shading. So Cuddles is back, and I put the pastel on the model. See, I'm adding a bit more orange. I really needed to make this horse a bit lighter. He was kind of almost like beyond saving to make a bay. I totally messed up on the base color, but it turned out okay in the end. So that's good. But I'm applying the pastels in the same way that I showed you in that little drawn diagram there. I give the model 2 layers of sealant, and you can see the colors kind of darkening. And then I go back over with the lighter color, the same color as the original base color of the model, or a bit lighter. And then I go back over that with the dark color again, not spraying any sealant in between. You can really see where I'm applying the darker colors versus the lighter ones. I'm adding some highlights actually in the negative areas and some low lights in the muscle shadows, but then I'm adding darker color on the hind. Then I added some yellow because I really needed to save this color yet again. He was kind of the wrong hue that he needed to be based on my reference at this point. Then I did even more darker colors because I really wanted to darken this horse a bit more than he was, and so I didn't spray more sealant, but I went quite a lot darker than I originally had on this layer because I really needed to just speed up my progress. The pastel layer was taking too long and I wasn't getting great results. Then I did a lot of black on the legs. Bay horses have black stockings on their lower legs, on all four legs. So I did that. I used a smaller brush and really rubbed the pastel in there to build up as much color as possible. I add black pastel on the nose and around the eyes and anywhere else where there would be exposed skin, but I didn't get much of it on camera because I was holding my horse out of frame the whole time. Anyways, here you can see the horse is lighter and darker in different places. The color has a lot more nuance, and then I do another layer on top of that and the color gets darker, and I think it turned out to be a really nice, warm, rich bay color. Not super duper accurate, but I really like the color and how it turned out anyways, so that's good. So now I can start detailing with my acrylic paints. I do a lot of tiny individual hairs all over the whole model, especially on places like the belly. But first I'm going to be starting out with making the white face marking that the horse has. I'm not entirely sure what to call it because it's not a star and it's not a blaze. It's kind of a star and a broken stripe. I'm not sure. But anyways, it's very unique and very cool. And I tried to translate that through my paintwork. Then I fill in the sclera of the eyes with white, and thus begins the stage of my horse looking possessed. I use watered out paints and I highlight all the areas where my model would have hair detailing printed on the horse that came through as real texture, and areas that I think could benefit from some hair detailing like the belly and the face. I highlight the veins, but I actually used too dark of a color for this. I should have gone lighter actually, but my mistake. Anyways, I didn't think my herring on this particular piece was my best ever. It looks better in person, but looking at it on the video, it kind of looks sloppy. I don't know if it was actually like that. It looked better in person, but yeah. Anyways, I spend a lot of time on this particular phase of the model, doing a lot of work with the hairs, doing some contrasting hairs, but also some hairs that blend into the color of the model. And you can see that side I've detailed, and this side I haven't. And this side looks a lot more flat than this side. This side looks more interesting. I've made little shadows in the grooves of the muscles and stuff. So I definitely think that detailing elevates the model to a different level. I wouldn't say that this was my best detail job though. Then I add some more paint into the eye of the model. I filled in that sclera with white before, and now I'm adding a layer of light brown. And then I go with a darker brown and a darker brown, and then I add the oblong black pupil. I didn't do as much filming on this model as I would have hoped, so I did paint the feet though, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. I think I got really nice soles of the feet. They definitely look really cool, and I think that the tops of the feet don't look bad at all. But no, I'm really proud of the bottoms of the hooves. I think they look cool. Then I paint the mane in a dark brown color. A lot of bay horses look like their manes are black, but when you actually look at them, they're dark brown. And since this mane is flying up kind of and would be hit by the sun in some pictures, I wanted to make that dark brown color really show through and highlight it at the tips with some oranges. But it was very dark, so it could kind of look black in certain lightings. Then I did some streaks of like gray. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I painted over that. Bay horses don't really have gray hairs so much in their mane. Maybe I did black and they came out as gray on this thing, but it certainly looks gray on the screen now. So I don't know what I was doing here, but don't do that. I do those same gray highlighting streaks in the tail, but when I look at the model off camera and I actually look at him in real life, I can see that his mane and tail aren't gray, so I think I painted over the mane and tail. Anyways, I sign his feet with a pen, and then I can go and give him the final spray of sealant in my garage. And with that, the boy is finished. Thank you so much for watching this video, everybody. This was a really fun project, and it's nice to start doing my first commissions. Anyways, thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you like him as much as I do, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!